Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cambridge Veritas. My name is Krish, and I'm your IELTS trainer at Cambridge Veritas. Welcome to session number 7. Very, very excited for this session. Why? Because we're going to be looking at something so important that it haunts students. I repeat, it basically haunts students. But why exactly is that? Because grammar can be very, very daunting for a lot of people. I repeat, grammar can be very, very daunting for a lot of people. And to do away with this, we have a lesson which is just 15 minutes long, and we're going to be looking at important aspects, actually 3 important aspects of grammar that can help us improve it. So let's quickly look into the agenda of today's live lesson. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the family. If you're old, you came yesterday, welcome once again. Please note, don't just watch, you have to participate and most importantly, be a part of this amazing high-scoring IELTS community. But what happens with that? Because we have these live sessions every night at 9 p.m. to help you understand and help you learn the basics. So make sure that you smash that subscribe button as we start this lesson. So here we go. The agenda of today's lesson is, in this lesson, we're going to be looking at grammar for IELTS writing. I repeat, we're going to be looking at grammar for IELTS writing. But what are the things that we will cover in this lesson? There are going to be some very interesting activities, especially pertaining to how to write sentences on the IELTS exam. I repeat, how to write sentences on the IELTS exam. So without further ado, let's play game number 1. We have the live chat that is open to all of us. So make sure that you go to the live chat option first. All right, if you want to give any answers, or if you have any questions for that matter. So let's begin. First, the game that we're going to play is called Complex Sentences. It's called, once again, Complex Sentences. But what will we do in this game? One by one, I'm going to be showing you 3 different types of complex sentences. But what happens with those complex sentences? According to IELTS band descriptors, complex sentences are your way and gateway to band 9. A lot of people do not know what a complex sentence is, or if they know, they don't know how to use complex sentences. Can I tell you a little secret? I've seen a lot of teachers using complex sentences incorrectly, because to have the theoretical knowledge is one thing, but to be able to use it in practical life is a completely different ball game. So I'm going to show you 3 different complex sentences, one by one. Let's get started with number 1. Here we go. The first type of complex sentence is, it's called relative clause. I repeat, it's called relative clause. But what is the meaning of this word relative clause? Let me help you understand. It's very simple. Imagine there's a sentence, and in this sentence, there are 2 parts. How many parts? There are 2 parts. And these parts are separated by, let's say, a comma. So this is called the first clause. That means the first part of the sentence. And this is called the second clause, the second part of the sentence. So what is the meaning of the word clause? In simple English, it means part of the sentence. Once again, repeat after me. It means part of a sentence. And what is the meaning of relative? It means part of a sentence that belongs to another part. So for example, if this is the part of the sentence that we're talking about, relative means that there's a relationship between them. So this sentence is related to this sentence, or vice versa for that matter. Let's understand this with the help of an example. So the example is, the government should introduce stricter laws which can reduce crime rates. Now let's play a game. if I hide the first part and if I just say the second part of the sentence, you will not be able to understand it. For example, don't look at the first part. I'm just going to say the second part, okay? Which can reduce crime rates? It sounds like a question. It doesn't sound like a statement. So this part belongs to this part. These kinds of sentences are called complex. But why do we call them complex? Because it has two parts. It's not a simple sentence. My name's Krish. It's a simple sentence. But the moment you add another clause to it, it becomes a complex sentence. And there are many different types of relative clause sentences. We join these words, we join sentences using which, what, when, who, that. All of these are not only connectors, but relative clause markers as well. So this is the first kind of sentence. We have two more sentences to go, and this live lesson today is quite short, but we're going to be playing a very interesting game on the next slide. So stay tuned and let's learn together. The second type of sentence that we have, are you ready to have a look? The second type of complex sentence is subordinate clause. I repeat, not relative clause, subordinate clause. Now, what are subordinate clause sentences? It's very simple. The moment you see a sentence that starts with though, although, these kinds of sentences focus on the word that I have written, which is bold. This is a subordinate clause sentence. Again, same rule applies. It is divided in two parts. Before comma, after comma. Let me read the sentence for you. Although many believe AI is beneficial, others argue that it possesses risk. Now, if I just say this part, have a look. Others argue that it possesses risk. If I say just this part, you will actually not know what exactly am I talking about. So what is the meaning of it? It here means AI. So I'm talking about the relationship of the word it, which is a pronoun, related to something that I have already discussed in the first part of the sentence. So in simple English, for those of you who are new, any sentence that starts with although, though, etc., these are called subordinate clauses and are a family of complex sentences. So if you use these kinds of sentences on your IELTS exam, you actually get band 9. No kidding. But you might say, but what if I get band 8? I have an answer to you as well for that. If you get band 8, that actually means, listen carefully, if you get band 8, that actually means you used these sentences, but you used with a little bit of an error. I repeat, you used it, but with a little bit of an error here and there, and therefore the mark got deducted for it. But the idea is, you're actually at least attempting to use complex sentences. If a student does not use complex sentences, they don't get the mark. But there are many different kinds of complex sentences. We're just only covering 3 of them in our basic live session. If you want to look at all the different kinds of sentences that can help you get band 8 and plus, not just in speaking but in writing as well, then you can check out my 7-day IELTS Writing Masterclass, and the link of it is available in the live chat. Now let's look at the last one. What is the last complex sentence? Have a look. So the last kind of complex sentence is conditional sentences. And they're my favorite sentences. Before we look at conditionals, allow me to tell you what exactly that means. It means, agar ye hota, to wo hota. These kinds of sentences are called conditional sentences. There are 4 types of conditional sentences, but we're just going to be looking at just one kind in the basic life session. All right, so here we go. An example. If you invite me, I will come. Imagine you've got a party, all right, and you're saying, Krish, will you come to my party? Then I'll say, if you invite me, I'll come. What is it? If you invite me is the condition. I will come is the result of the condition. And these sentences together are called conditional sentences. What do we call them? Conditional sentences. Because there's a condition and then there's a result of that condition. So let's have a look at it with the help of an example. If the government invests in education, literacy rates will improve. If you use these kinds of if sentences, your score will improve. But here is the secret. If you end up using incorrectly, your scores will go down. So that is the other side of it. If you are ready to use them. Bingo, very good, bravo, congratulations. But make sure you know the correct structure of it. There are 4 kinds of conditional sentences which we covered during the masterclass. We call them zero conditionals, first conditionals, second conditionals, and mixed conditionals. But what is this kind of conditional sentence? This conditional sentence is called, hello, does anybody know the answer? Tell me in the comments section below. What do you think is this kind of conditional sentence called? Is it zero? And don't look at on ChatGPT or grammar or on the internet. Guess. If your answer is wrong, that's perfectly all right. That's why we are here to learn. Is it a zero conditional sentence, a first conditional sentence, second, or a mixed conditional sentence? All right. So once again, relative clause, subordinate clauses, and conditional sentences. We also call them if clauses. Use these types of sentences to get band 9 on your IELTS exam, either in IELTS writing or IELTS speaking. So that's perfectly all right. But here comes the most interesting part of the lesson today, the exercise, live activity. You have to participate with me. Jayanti says first conditional. Rupali says first conditional. Ireem, my apologies. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yes, the correct answer is first conditional. So this is a first conditional sentence. Bear with me. This is a first conditional sentence. Excellent. First conditional sentence. So Irem says, how can we make an error with them? Can you please elaborate? That's a very good question. So the error is like this. What people generally say is, I'm going to take a simple sentence. So the correct example is, if you invite me, I will come. Let's say I'm talking to you, Irem, and I'm saying, if you invite me to your party, I will come. So that's the correct structure. People use it incorrectly like this. If you will invite me, I will come. You do not use will in both the parts of the sentence. Will only comes in the result part of the sentence. So for example, if government will invest in education, that's how people speak. If government will invest, that's how they speak and they write. Tons of time I've corrected people on IELTS writing and speaking when they use will in the first part of the sentence. Why is that, Krish? What is the reason, you may ask? The reason is, it's not the grammatical structure of the sentence. When you talk about result, which is in future, you use will. But when you talk about the condition is not in future. The condition remains as is. The condition either is in present or is in past, which basically comes in other different kinds of conditional sentences. I hope it answers your question. God bless. So let's play the game. Are you guys ready? Shall we start? Pen and paper in your hand. And if you're on your laptop or phone, open the live chat. So the first game is here. I'm going to show you one sentence. You have to convert that sentence either into a relative clause or a subordinate clause or a conditional sentence. All right? And don't worry if your answers are wrong. I repeat, do not worry if your answers are wrong. We love wrong answers. What we want you is participate. All right? That's all we want. Here we go. So the first sentence is, technology is changing education. It makes learning easier. It makes learning easier. You have to join these two sentences. Put your answers in the comments section below. You have to join these two sentences using relative clause. If you want to take a picture, take the picture. Take the picture of this slide so that you can use it in the next slide. I'll give you 2 seconds. Perfect. Here we go. Can you join these two sentences and tell me in the chat box, what is the relative clause of this sentence? Happy for you. Perfect. Thank you so much. There are people responding. Thank you, Falak, Jayanti, and everyone. The correct answer is here. Bravo. Technology is changing education, comma, very important. Remember, punctuation plays a very important role to get correct marks. So, comma, which makes learning easier. Now it has become, so instead of you writing two simple sentences, you join the two sentences together using relative clause word, which is which. All right. So this is number 1. Super, perfect answers. Ansi, Jayanti, Falak, excellent. Waiting for other people as well. Make sure that you participate and let us know with the correct answers in the chat box. Sentence number 2. In total, we have 5 sentences, all right? So bear with me. Sentence number 2, here we go. People need to exercise regularly. They will stay healthy. For this sentence, you have to use a conditional. That means if type of sentence, all right? If type of sentence. So let's get started. Looking forward to your answers in the chat box. I'll give you 30 seconds. I'll be looking at your answers on my laptop. Time's up. Here we go. Still waiting for the answers. So the correct answer is you join the two sentences together and now it has become a complex sentence. Band 9. My God. Here we go. Let's have a look at it. Reveal time. Let's give it a different color. If people exercise regularly, comma, punctuation mark, they will stay healthy. Now, in 15 years of my career teaching IELTS, I'll tell you the kind of mistakes people make. That's a bonus tip for you from my end today. The mistake that people make is, and by the way, I've seen a lot of directors, VCs of big companies and teachers and managers, engineers, whatnot, making this mistake. So I'm going to tell you now. People say, if people will exercise daily, regularly, they unnecessarily add the word, if people will. This is a general English funda that you should always keep in mind. not only for IELTS, but for real life as well. Do not, absolutely do not, never make these sentences. If you have younger brothers, sisters, siblings, children, whatever, never speak English like this with them. It's wrong conditional, and it's basically wrong, yeah? So don't say if people will exercise regularly, they will stay healthy. No. They will stay healthy is the result part, which is in future. Result always has the word will, but condition does not have the word will. I hope it helps. Show me a thumbs up in the comments section if you've understood this concept. Once again, show me a thumbs up in the comments section if you've understood this concept. Perfect. Hello, 0 likes on the video. I thought you're liking the video at the moment. 0 likes right now. Is the lesson that bad? Hello, where's this? Show me this. All right. Let's look at the third sentence now. Here we go. So the third sentence is, get ready with your pen and paper. Here we go. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, these lessons are made by teachers for 2-3 hours sometimes. This is a shorter version for you so that our YouTube family and high IELTS scoring students can get better bands. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It is their motivating factor. So here we go. Air pollution is a problem. ठीक है जी, समझ में आ गया. Many cities struggle with it. Now we have to make a relative clause. What do you think could be it? Your 30 seconds start now. Put your answers in the chat box. Put your answers in the chat box. Thank you. Going to give you 30 seconds. Thank you. Take your time. Give us the wrong answers. We love wrong answers. Focus on participating. That's all. Alrighty. So the correct answer is, here we go. Air pollution, which many cities struggle with, is a serious problem. Now, this sentence has 3 clauses. Air pollution, the first part, which many cities struggle with, the second part, comma again, is a serious problem. Relative clause. A very, very good example of flaunting and flexing your English in the IELTS exam, on IELTS writing or IELTS speaking. So make sure that you use not only the first kind, but the second kind as well, which is here. Get ready for number 4, second last sentence of the day. The second last sentence is, many students study hard. They want to pass the IELTS exam. What do you think is the subordinate clause version of this sentence? I repeat, subordinate clause version of this sentence. I'm going to show you the answers in the next 2, or no, not 2 minutes. That'd be too long. In the next 10 seconds. Okay, waiting for answers. I love so many people participating. Falak, Jayanti, Anand, Reem, Rupali. Excellent, guys. Amarnath, lovely, Ansi. Superb. So the correct answer is here. Many students study hard because Now, there are different kinds of connectors for relative clauses and subordinate clauses. But how do we connect this sentence? Because you're talking about reason in the second part, and the condition or the first part of the sentence is in the beginning, apparently. So many students study hard, full stop. They want to pass the IELTS exam. The reason is written in the next sentence. The next sentence is kind of acting like a supporting sentence. So you connect it using the subordinate clause. Because here. All right? So these kinds of, this sentence may look very simple, but it is called a subordinate clause complex sentence, which gets you better marks on the IELTS exam. Last example of the day. Ready? Everyone, here we go. Last example of the day is here. I'm going to show you the sentence. I think this version that you're writing, although many students study hard, they want to, the only problem with this is, although is used to sort of introduce a negative connotation, something that is opposing the first part, Jayanti. So I think this is something that you can look into. Thanks for your answers, by the way. Excellent. The last one is, you should save money. Very good advice. Thank you. You might need it in the future. Immediately I could think a subordinate clause sentence with it, but you have to use conditional with it. So can you write a conditional sentence using this in the chat box? Palak, you have to show me the answer so that I know how exactly you can use it with since. Thank you. If you could write the answer, Falak, I would be able to better comment on it. TKG, let's check the answers together. As you might need it in the future. Good, very nice, Anand. Good job. Thumbs up. What about other people? Waiting for other people as well? Yeah, that's fine, Falak. I think that looks like a good sentence. That looks like a good relative clause, subordinate clause. So the correct answer for this version is, here we go. If you save money, not if you will save money. Remember that. We discussed it before as well. If you save money, you might need it in the future. Very good piece of advice. If you save money, you might need it in the future. All right. So that was about practice. But there are 4 things now that I want to show you that most of the students are missing. These are 4 secrets of IELTS that I'm now going to show you on the next slide. Get ready, write it down somewhere. Here we go. You can take a screenshot as well if you want to. So what most of the students are missing, these are the advanced techniques that I'm going to be sharing with you now. Technique number 1. Almost 90% of the students are missing how to write a band 9 introduction. What is the hook? How to write a hook? How to write a background statement? And how to write a thesis. That's secret number 1 that most of the students do not know. We're going to be elaborating on it in a little while. Most of the students also do not know how to take care of cohesion. Remember band descriptors? On IELTS, cohesion is a very important part. It means advanced linking and flow techniques. So that's a very important part. A lot of students do not know. What is the meaning of advanced linking? What are cohesive devices? What are markers? What are connectors? And how does flow really work on the IELTS exam? Secret number 4. What is a high band vocabulary? What are the academic phrases that you should use so that in one go, you pass the IELTS with a good band and fulfill your dream of settling, working, studying abroad. And what are the collocations, by the way? What exactly is the meaning of collocation in the first place? The last secret. These are some of the things that I've seen over the last 15 years that are missing for most of the students. The last secret. PSF. We call it PSF. What is the problem solution framework? What are these kinds of sentences? The cause and effect, the real world examples of it, etc. The PSF is a very important framework that's not available on the internet. That's only available when you're working with somebody who has been in IELTS for a very, very long time. I became an IELTS examiner in the year 2016 before I moved to London. And during the training, it's very important for any IELTS trainer to be able to, first of all, know these things and then teach these things to the students. So the most interesting thing is, in my 7-day IELTS Masterclass, we discuss IELTS Writing Masterclass, we discuss all of these components just like this and are able to interact with each other. It is not recorded. It is live just like this. So if you're interested in joining and have been struggling with your IELTS Writing Masterclass, with your IELTS Writing in general, you can join my 7-day IELTS Writing Masterclass, which is starting next week on Monday from 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. The link of this is available in the chat box. Now, there's something very interesting. When you go to the link, you'll be able to read the complete syllabus that we discuss from day 1. Here is the 7-day breakdown of how the entire IELTS writing training is sort of conducted and what are the important elements that you get. When you feel you're comfortable and you'd like to join, simply go to the end of the page to join the IELTS Writing Masterclass. Not only that, if you have any questions related to anything, we have a student support team that helps you 24/7. Actually not 24/7. There are business hours. But yes, you can tap on the link here to get in touch with our student support team if you have any questions related to IELTS Writing Masterclass. And the last bit of today's session, have a look. The last bit of today's session is, I'm going to give you a link in the chat box. Look at the link in the chat box. If you enjoyed today's lesson, then let me know. You can either scan this code or use the link in the chat box that I've just sent. And let me know, how was today's session for you? Did you learn something new? What was interesting, and what would you like to learn tomorrow? I repeat, what would you like to learn tomorrow? Because tomorrow, again, I'm coming at 9 o'clock to help you with the basics of anything related to IELTS. There are so many queries that keep on coming on in, and whatever lesson I take is actually from the emails and the WhatsApp messages that you guys send. So we create the basics of it, and if you want to learn the advanced version of it, it's available on our 7-day IELTS Writing Masterclass. God bless, take care, thank you for being a part of this lesson, sending lots of love. And do make sure that you give me the like on the video. And subscribe to the channel as well. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.